welcome to episode 5 JDG Sport videos. I'm back again for another discussion relating to my work in sport. This week I wanted to talk about perception, because that's something that I've battled with, I must admit, for 10 years or so now. How you position yourself in the industry, how you aspire to be, or where you aspire to be in the industry, and I'd love to know people's thoughts on this, especially from a professional point of view. So for those of you who are unaware, I set up loverugbyleague.com when I was 17, very much in my bedroom, my box bedroom at my mum and dad's house. 13 years later, it's now owned by Planet Sport, one of the biggest sport network sites, sports sites going. You know, we have an office, we've got salaried staff, you know, great place to be. You know, we're really good team of people now. And so the perception question in relation to Love Rugby League has very much changed over the years, and it's now not so much an issue. Maybe 5 years ago, when I was still trying to sustain it myself, it was always a case of, well, do I try and play the, oh, it's run out of a back bedroom by a, you know, on not a voluntary basis, but, you know, that sort of thing, as a not-for-profit, you know, thing, or do you try and act bigger than you are, or be bigger than you are, to try and attract the bigger name sponsors and the bigger name advertisers, which is ultimately what you need for, you know, to make a site like that exist. I have the same thought with readers as well, with your website viewers. Is, do you pretend to be a big media organisation, or do you say, look, we're fans as well, you know, we're volunteers or whatever, and run the site that way? I think I managed to find a happy medium between the two over the years. It's obviously very much now professional, because it's run professionally and that's how it's sustained. But you know, I remember having a discussion with the RFL 8 or 9 years ago, where they were like, well, we don't want to accredit fans' websites. So that meant, you know, I never felt like it was a fans' website, because I was always a journalist. I was training for it to be a journalist when it started, and then became a journalist afterwards. So my argument was always it wasn't a fan site. Conscious I don't want to bang on about Love Rugby League too much, because I do enough videos for them as it is. So flipping that onto my business, my JDG business, so now sort of operating under JDG Sport, but initially was under JDG Media. When I started, it was very much me, and to be fair, you know, during the 8 years it's been going, at various times it has only been me. But the question is from me, is do I put myself out there as James Gordon, or as a freelancer, or am I better putting myself out there as a micro agency, or even a small digital agency, as a way of getting clients in? I still, if I'm being brutally honest, I still probably don't have the true answer to that question. I've tried a few different things and I've had success in different areas. I remember in the first year or so that I started up, I remember one of my clients saying, oh, well, we didn't give you more work because we thought you were too busy. And that was all a perception thing, a perception-driven thing through social media, that people perceived that I was busy because of my social media activity. Now, whether that was a good thing or not is another debate. But that's, perception's always been at the back of my mind, not deliberately, but I think looking back now, it's like, well, how do you perceive yourself to be? I've gone back and I'll be honest, and to be honest, I have a constant battle with it, in terms of, you know, do I just, look, it's me, the business revolves around me, and lean on that, or do I try and build, I've tried to do this and I've pulled out of it before, where I've been trying to build up a small digital sports agency and it's not quite worked. I remember getting to a point where I thought, all I'm doing really is stressing every month to pay other people's wages. I wasn't, and it was always about money, it was always about overheads, and that's not why I did it. I wasn't in it. I don't do what I do to run a business. I don't do what I do to pay overheads or to manage finances. I love it, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, and to be honest, I like, and some people will definitely disagree, I love some of the admin and accounting tasks, but that isn't why I do it. The reason why I work in sport is because I love sport, I wanted to work in it, I want to cover games, I want to meet people, I want to interview people. And so I made a conscious decision a few years ago to strip back, go back to myself, and try and revolve the business around myself once again. But still, you still have that discussion, and we're doing a bit of work at the moment on proposals and how we, you know, we do some tenders every now and again, and it's how do you pitch yourself? Do I say, like, look, the reality is it's me. We've got staff that help me, or do we pitch it as here is the strength, here is the sum of our parts? And we have freelancers, we have some really good student journalists with us at the moment who helping week in, week out. Do we pitch the bigger picture, or do we keep it, small down? And it's all about perception. And I suppose you might say to me, well, you judge it on a client by client basis. But I've always thought, like I say, that perception it's very easy. I suppose it's very easy in many ways to create your own perception using social media these days, but of course it's very easy to be found out as well, and once you are found out, it's very difficult to recover from that. So I'd love to hear people's advice or their opinion on perception. I'd be interested to know how you perceive our business at the moment. That would be useful as well. But thanks for watching this week's episode, and I'll see you again next week. That's full time for now.